Hey guys, this is Seth at the Mast Store Knife Shop, and today we have a really cool brand, Avery Knifeworks. Pretty new to the knife shop, so let's check it out here. Only made like about 15 minutes from the knife shop. Great box, great presentation, gives you a lot of information. Handmade in Western North Carolina. Get all your warranty information, a little story on Avery Knives and Raleigh Avery, the bladesmith. So really cool company to look into. So let's check out the knife itself. This is really cool, beautiful, and you instantly notice that handle. Let me show you that. Right there, beautiful. And we won't talk about what that is quite yet, what part of the tree that came from, but it is really cool. It really stands out in the knife shop. And again, made by Raleigh Avery out of Banner, North Carolina, basically. So, which is right here where we are near Valle Crucis. So let's talk about the knife. This is called the Bird and Trout knife by Avery Knifeworks. He started in 2016 when he was only 14. So that's pretty impressive that he, someone of that age can make stuff like that. Of course, he's older now, but you can definitely see how he's evolved over the years. And you can see his name right there, Raleigh Avery, and the blade right there. And again, this is the Bird and Trout knife, so it's made for great precise control when you're hunting or fishing small game or trout. You can really get good precise control right there on that tip. And you can see how it's a good drop point. Got a nice flat grind with a secondary bevel right there and a good finger choil. That's very important because this knife is ridiculously sharp out of the box. It's actually one of the sharpest ones that I've felt, like from the factory or from the maker right out of the box. You could slice the paper in two instantly. So I was impressed by that. And we'll get to the steel in a minute, and you'll actually be very impressed by the steel. Now we can get down to the handle. And as I mentioned, you can kind of see the detail on that. People might be wondering what that is. And actually I have another one I'll show you in orange, and there's other colors. But you see the beauty of that? That is just like eye-catching. And what that is pine cone in a resin. It's pretty cool. You'll see it in a lot of other knives, like custom knives. And what that is, they take a pine cone, of all things to choose. I don't know who thought of that, but it was brilliant. But you take a pine cone, you dry it, you stabilize it, and then you drop it in a little tub full of the resin, whatever color you want, and then it hardens, and then they slice it into the scales, basically, into little slices, and then they shape it, and you have a beautiful handle. Pine cone resin handle. It's very tough, it's pretty. It can be polished a little bit higher polish than that, but I kind of like the satin finish that Raleigh did on it. So that is what stands out about his knives. He does the pine cone, he does wood with a resin, he does several different handles, but these are definitely what catch the eye. And you can see these in the knife shop along with several other styles, but today we're focusing on the Bird and Trout. He does a sandblasted finish up here towards the top. You can kind of see it's a little rougher, and then when he grinds down that flat grind, you can see the satin finish. And as I mentioned, I'll jump ahead, this is MagnaCut steel, which is not what I expected with a handmade knife like this. Usually a lot of the local makers use a 1095 or 80 CRV2 or something, but when I heard MagnaCut, I was very impressed. This is a high-end steel, great in all respects. I can show you the steel chart in here in a minute, but to see MagnaCut, that was as I always say, the Chuck Norris of steel. They can do anything. And now we can also get into the sheath. At first, I kind of wanted to see a leather sheath with this because they're local, kind of in the Western North Carolina, but as I played with the Kydex, it's actually pretty impressive. It locks in perfectly. You can hear the snap. Hear that snap? That is not going anywhere. Very tight, very well made. It goes around got kind of a custom belt loop right there. Shape to that, it fits the knife perfectly. Each knife is custom fit to that particular Kydex. And again, it is not coming out. You have to use a little bit of force in your thumb to carefully pull it out. You can see right there. But that way it doesn't fall out on the trail, or if you're hiking or whatever you're doing with it, it is in there. You can feel confident it's not going anywhere. And again, I'll show you the orange one. There's a couple other colors, but you can just see the beauty of it. There's no two exactly alike. And now let's go over the specs. And remember, the links and pricing and specs are available in the description. Well, first let's do the specs on it. We'll go over the overall length. We have 7.5 inches overall. Good EDC style, or good for bird and trout like it's made, or good for bird and trout like it's made for. The blade length is 3 1/4. Good size, just average EDC, and the weight is only 3.75 ounces. It's not crazy heavy, but it's a good weight. You can feel confident in your hand, you're not going to lose it. And as I promised, we can go over the MagnaCut steel, the Chuck Norris of steels. Now you can see you got edge retention, toughness, and your stainless properties. Pretty good right in the middle on edge retention. You got like a 5 out of 10, so that's great. It sharpens well, holds a good edge. If you're out in the field all day hunting and skinning, you don't want to have to sharpen it that often. Go over to your toughness, very tough, a 7 out of 10. And that's the way they made this steel. You got your edge retention, you got your toughness, and then if you go over to your stainless properties, out the roof on stainless. So that is why it's perfect perfect for hunting and fishing, stuff like that. And by the way, this chart is made by Dr. Laren Thomas, who is the maker of MagnaCut. So that's perfect explanation on this steel and how excellent it truly is. And again, this is the burden trout from Raleigh Avery, Avery Knifeworks, right here in Valle Crucis, or near Valle Crucis. And you guys might be wondering the price on these, which they're not too bad considering you got MagnaCut, they're locally made, you've got the pine cone resin handle. These come in at $285 for the burden trout, which is actually pretty good. Anything with MagnaCut in my mind is usually 3+, and the fact that it's handmade, I think usually adds to that. So I was very impressed to see that. So for $285, you can have local, handmade, local art basically, because this is art to me. I love that handle. It's usable, but to me, I'm a collector. And another feature, with this MagnaCut, these are not forged. This is stock removal, because according to Avery, forging this type of steel, it can mess up the whole metallurgy of the steel, and really, it can ruin it. So he prefers to do stock removal on this MagnaCut. He does do some hand-forged stuff, but this one, he chooses to keep it stock removal. And I think that should wrap it up on the burden trout knife from Avery Knives. I hope y'all enjoyed this video and found it helpful. And before you go, please hit the like button and be sure to subscribe to the channel. You won't miss any new content. And as always, hit that bell so you'll know when we post new videos like this. And I appreciate y'all watching, and we'll see you next time.